After Phil Spencer had a great interview with so many media sites where he talked about games and the future of the Xbox console and Xbox itself, he also talked about Sony's PlayStation 5 controller and what he thinks about it. Oh, and it involves maybe Xbox emulating a lot of the tech used in the Sony product. Let's get into what was said and what it means for Xbox's controller and what Xbox can probably bring this next generation. Let's get into it. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by and checking out the video. Remember to hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support is greatly appreciated. And if you want to be notified on future content, make sure to hit that small little bell icon. It helps out the channel a lot. But now let's talk about one of the most important aspects to a console, which is the controller. And like we've said before, and like I've said multiple times, Xbox's controller, to me, is the best controller out there. And I'm saying that from somebody that is an Xbox fan, but also somebody that's played all of PlayStation's consoles. And over a year ago, I made a video talking about the PlayStation 4 controller and PlayStation's controller in general. I never really liked it. It never really grabbed me. And the only game that really got me to forget I was even playing with the PlayStation 4 controller is God of War, the one that was released in 2018. That's the only game where its gameplay and its mechanics made me forget that I was even using that controller. Yet I said for Sony to truly grab me this generation, they had to change their controller. They had to do something different from not only a design aspect, but really bring something that really captures my attention, especially from the shape of it. And of course, they did that. They changed the PlayStation 4 controller into the PlayStation 5 controller, the Duel Sense. Now, I really enjoy that controller. I think it's far better than anything Sony has brought out. And they also put new technology in there that really made me think, wow, they put a lot of effort into it. So I'll give them credit to that. It's amazing. Yet, what does that mean for Xbox? Are they starting to trend into that territory of being one of the best controllers in the market? Something for me that Xbox has held for generations upon generations. And with that, what do the executives like Phil Spencer think about the PlayStation 5 controller? Well, this article starts talking about that, and Phil Spencer himself talked about the controller and what it means. Here's what's said in the article and what's mentioned. Head of Xbox Phil Spencer praises PS5 DualSense controller. Xbox head Phil Spencer praises PS5's DualSense controller during a recent podcast, suggesting Xbox may add some of its features. Sony undoubtedly made waves when debuting the DualSense controller for the PlayStation 5, a total redesign from PS4's DualShock. The DualSense features a total shape overhaul along with truly next-gen features like haptic feedback and adaptive triggers. The new functionalities have been lauded by just about everyone who's tried them, including head of Xbox, Phil Spencer. Spencer was a guest on the most recent episode of Kinda Funny Gamecast, talking about what the future holds for Xbox. While he states his company won't be releasing any major accessories or peripherals anytime in the near future, he does suggest that a new version of the Xbox Series X controller is a strong possibility. So we know this interview happened a week or so ago, but again, this isn't something new at all. Earlier this year, Xbox put out a questionnaire to their community asking if they would like new technology in the PS5 controllers put into the Xbox controllers. So we know that they've been paying attention to this, and when the PlayStation 5 launched, it was a very big topic because changing the PlayStation controller was huge for them. Sony never really changed the shape of their controller since all the way back to the PS1 days. So to see the redesign and the tech inside of it really caused a stir within gaming and in the gaming media. And I guarantee you Xbox paid attention, and of course they did. Here's what they put up actually in the survey earlier this year. I went and hunted it down because I remember this happening. Here's what was said during there. Microsoft is using a customer experience survey to ask Xbox Series X and S owners if they would like to see any PlayStation controller features made available for its consoles. In a questionnaire distributed to customers who have purchased Xbox Series XS consoles, one question appears to be canvassing interest in PS5's DualSense controller, which launched in November and has been widely praised for features including its adaptive triggers. As you can see right here, Xbox has been looking into this haptic feedback for some time now, and to be honest, it's something they have to do because the DualSense controller is a lot better than anything Sony has brought out before, because for the longest time, Xbox has dominated the controller talk. I don't care what anyone says, Xbox has the best controller and it's been like that for years. But again, it's great to think Xbox is looking into the tech behind the PS5 controller. controller, because I don't think Xbox wants to lose anything. I don't think they want to lose that first-party games. I don't think they want to lose that power with the console, and I definitely know they don't want to lose that controller, because that's been something that's been in their corner for generations, as I've said before. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Every time I've played on the PS5 and played with that Duel Sense controller, it's felt immensely better. Are the haptic feedbacks and the technology attached to it great? Sure they are, but I'm going to get into that a little bit later of what I think into the tech. But now I want to get into what Phil Spencer thinks about the tech and what the company is looking into. Here's what Xbox has said. The Xbox head says the company has been thinking about bringing more games to more places through different kinds of devices, and that there's probably some work that we'll do on the controller. Not to say he isn't satisfied with the one Xbox currently has, lauding Microsoft Gaming Engineering head Elizabeth Hamren's team for the work they've done so far. Spencer goes on to compliment Sony's innovations with PS5's DualSense, revealing he thinks Sony's done a nice job with its controller and that Xbox has apparently been looking at some of its features and thinks there are things that we should go do. Is Xbox going to put some of its tech into their controllers? I don't know, but for me, I really don't think it needs to happen. I say this as someone that's used the PS5 controller a lot and found it more of a gimmick than next gen. And I'm not just saying that to be a fanboy. I turn off the haptic feedback because I don't want to struggle with my controller when I'm in a multiplayer game. I get tired of the resistance, I get tired of the constant rumbling, not to mention it really kills the battery on the controller. With that said, I do keep on the haptic feedback with single player games, especially Sony first party games, because those studios put a lot of work into the tech and making sure they get the most out of it. So I want to experience that, but again, after a while, I turn it off because I just want to enjoy the game. When I was playing Miles Morales, I really enjoyed that game. I had a lot of fun with it. It's one of the best launch titles that came out this generation, yet at the same time, I didn't care about the haptic feedback that was on there. Same with Ratchet & Clank, there was some haptic feedback on there that I just really didn't like. You would have to hold the trigger halfway to pull something out and then shoot fully with your right trigger. I enjoyed it, I thought it was great, but after a while, I got kind of bored. It was kind of something that was just in the way of my gaming experience. Did I enjoy the mechanics and the innovation they put into it? Sure. Did it land? For a little while it did, but over time, I turned it off because honestly, the most important thing was I didn't want my controller to die so quickly. That's something that's been a problem on the PS5 controller. As for Xbox, let's hope they do continue to innovate and try new things, but also not just emulate the type of tech that Sony is doing. Maybe improve upon it, maybe make it your own. But again, this is what competition does. It helps push technology to things we've never seen before. This is why Game Pass exists, it's why Sony changed their controller, and it's why all of these first-party games are coming out. It's because these companies are going head-to-head. It's because they look at the tech they're bringing to each other, and they try to one-up themselves. They try to one-up each other. That's the whole point of this. That's why I love what Sony did with the controller. I think it's great, because not only did I not like their controller, but honestly, it really was almost unplayable for me on the PS4. I really disliked it. And on the PS3, I don't even want to get into that. I couldn't even play the PlayStation 3 because the controller was so bad. But now with the PS5 DualSense, I think it's great. I think the controller has a lot going for it. Once they move where the joysticks are, I'll be a little happier. I still think Xbox has the better controller, and if you buy one of the Elite controllers like the Elite 2, you really do have the best experience when it comes to controllers. But this is the whole point. I want to see Sony, I want to see Microsoft compete with each other. That's what I like to see. This is why we got a lot of the things we're seeing into the next generation. Do I think the next gen haptic feedbacks is truly a next gen feature? Sure, it could be, but I'm not saying that it's, this big thing that next generation consoles need to have. Instead, I think it's a great little feature that sometimes I just turn off because I don't want to deal with it. But enough of what I think about these controllers, tell me what you think about them. Do you want to see the haptic feedback technology in the Xbox controllers? Which controller is your favorite this generation? Well, Xbox put their own tech into their controllers that kind of mimic what Sony is doing. Did Sony change their controllers for the better? What do you like about both consoles and what's your favorite feature on both? Go down below and let me know. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that subscribe button and that like button. The support helps out the channel more than you know. And give me a follow on Twitter at Zalker87. I'm always on there talking games and sharing my latest videos. Plus, I love interacting with everyone there, so get on Twitter and let's talk about gaming. Also, follow me on Xbox Live. My gamertag is Zalker87, just like my channel name. See what games I'm playing, and let's compete in achievements for the month. So right now, I've been playing a bunch of games. I'm almost at 3,000 achievement points this month alone. And we're only halfway through the month. I've been going crazy. I beat all of Hivebusters. I've been playing Far Cry 5 on my PC. I've been playing a bunch of games on Game Pass PC. I'm talking a bunch of games. I've been playing Sea of Thieves. I just went through all of the Tall Tales on there. I got every single achievement on the Tall Tales for the Pirates of the Caribbean. It took me a little while, but man, that game is so great. I loved it. And I've been playing Rage 2, Doom Eternal. I beat the whole Doom Eternal on my PC in 3 days because it ran so nice. And again, all of this is on Game Pass. The value there is insane. I can jump from my Xbox Series X to my PC and I'm loving it. I want to know if a lot of people are doing that. Go down below. Are you jumping from your Xbox Series X to your PC to mobile with xCloud? Are you doing that? Because I'm really enjoying the connectivity and how it's connected through everything. That's the best thing about Game Pass to me in Xbox, is that I can play in one place, pick up again, and play in another place because of cloud saves. So I want to see Sony start doing that. Maybe let me play on my PS5 and then later jump on my PC or wherever else to let me enjoy my games where I want and how I want. So go down below, let me know what you're playing, because that's what we're here for. It's to talk games. And that's all for now. Thanks for watching, and until next time, remember, enjoy your gaming. Later.